love used to be a story fragile, rare, and worth fighting for. It began with long conversations and the slow discovery of another soul. But in the modern age, this story has been rewritten. Now, love is measured in profiles, judged in seconds, and discarded with a single swipe. Tinder didn't just change how we date, it changed how we see each other. It turned us into shoppers, picking the best looking product on the shelf and pushing away the rest. In the process, it killed intimacy, understanding, and true connection. Finding someone we truly want in our lives is becoming harder than ever. What's left is frustration for men, disappointment for women, and a love that just feels more like a game. How Tinder is destroying us from the inside. Dopamine loops and addiction, swiping becomes like slot machines. Tinder isn't just an app, it's a casino for your brain. Every swipe is like pulling the lever on a slot machine. Most of the time, nothing happens. But once in a while, you hit the jackpot. A match, a message, a moment of validation. That unpredictable reward floods the brain with dopamine, the same chemical that keeps gamblers glued to slot machines. And just like any addiction, the cycle repeats. Swipe, reward. Swipe again. Hours disappear. But real connection doesn't grow. Instead of searching for love, we're chasing dopamine hits, addicted to the game, not the person on the other side of the screen. The danger isn't just wasted time. It's that we start confusing dopamine for love. The brain gets hooked on the thrill of the chase, not the joy of connection. Matches become trophies, conversations become optional, and people become disposable. Love in this system isn't a bond between two souls, it's just another notification on a glowing screen. Love reduced to profiles, filters, and instant judgments. There was once a time when love was discovered through conversations and moments. Now it's compressed into a profile picture and a few carefully chosen lines. Tinder reduces human beings with all their depth, flaws, and their beauty into a digital card to be judged in an instant. Filters make faces flawless, bios turn lives into sales pitches, and swipes become verdicts. Left for rejection, right for desire. We no longer ask, who is this person? Instead, we ask, do they look good enough for 2 seconds of attention? In this system, intimacy is replaced by presentation, and connection is replaced by performance. Love is no longer about discovering someone's soul. It's about creating an image that can survive a split-second judgment. Emotional emptiness, constant validation, yet deeper loneliness. Tinder promises connection, but what it often delivers is emptiness. Each match, each message gives us a fleeting rush, proof that someone noticed us, but that validation fades quickly, leaving a hunger for the next swipe, the next match, the next hit of attention. We collect matches like trophies, but feel more alone than ever. Conversations fizzle out, ghosting becomes normal, and intimacy is replaced with surface-level interactions. The more validation we get, the less it satisfies us, like drinking salt water when we're dying of thirst. In the end, Tinder doesn't fill the void, it expands it. Love is replaced with numbers, attention replaces affection, and loneliness grows in the very place we thought we'd escape it. Over time, the cycle of constant evaluation and perceived rejection can wear down your emotional resilience until dating no longer feels like an opportunity, but a test you keep failing. The illusion of choice, paradox of too many options leading to dissatisfaction. On Tinder, it feels like we have endless choices. Swipe long enough and there's always another face, another possibility, another maybe. At first, that feels exciting, like the whole world is at your fingertips. But here's the problem. When you have too many options, you stop valuing any of them. You start thinking, what if there's someone better just one swipe away? And suddenly, nobody feels good enough. Inactive profiles, not emotionally available, no time or energy, just looking, seeking attention and validation, looking for a hookup, married or in a relationship, not over your ex. Psychologists call this the paradox of choice. The more options we have, the harder it becomes to be satisfied with any of them. So instead of committing, we keep swiping. Instead of building something real, we stay stuck searching. And the saddest part, with all these supposed choices, we don't end up feeling happier. We just end up more restless and more alone. Because Tinder wasn't designed to help us find love or build real human connection. It was designed to keep us hooked. And the longer we stay hooked, the more money it makes. Think about it. If Tinder actually worked, if people truly found lasting relationships, the app would lose its customers. Love isn't profitable, addiction is. Tinder doesn't care if you meet your soulmate, it cares if you keep swiping, keep chasing, and eventually keep paying. The more frustrated you feel, the more likely you are to spend money. So in the end, Tinder doesn't just sell love, it sells the illusion of it and cashes in on our loneliness. The algorithm's hidden agenda, premium boosts, paid super likes, monetizing loneliness. Tinder knows exactly what it's doing. The more you struggle to get matches, the more the app whispers, pay to be seen. Premium boosts, paid super likes, Tinder Gold, all of it sold as the promise of more attention, more chances, maybe even love. But it's not love they're selling, it's hope, a paid shortcut in a system designed to keep you stuck. The more invisible you feel, the more desperate you become to buy visibility. And every time you pay, Tinder wins, not because you found someone, but because you haven't. This is the cruel genius of the system. It monetizes loneliness. The app creates the problem, then sells you the solution. But the solution never lasts, so the cycle begins again. Swipe, frustration, payment, repeat. It's not designed to make people happy, but to keep them addicted. It's not just our money Tinder takes, it's something far more valuable. It drains our time, our energy, our self-worth. Every swipe is supposed to bring us closer to love, but most of the time, it only leaves us feeling emptier. Matches that go nowhere, conversations that die, people who disappear without a word. It all adds up. Slowly, you start to feel disposable, like you're just not good enough, or just another face in the crowd. And that's the cruelest part. Tinder profits while we pay the price with our emotions. The more lonely and frustrated we feel, the more likely we are to stay, to swipe, maybe even to pay. In the end, it doesn't just waste our time, it eats away at our confidence, our hope, and our ability to trust in real love. Loneliness of a single man. Oversaturation. Most men struggle to get matches, feelings of invisibility. But there's another side to this so-called abundance, oversaturation. Dating apps give the illusion of infinite choice, but the reality isn't balanced at all. Most men struggle to get matches, while a small percentage of profiles capture nearly all the attention. The numbers are staggering. Globally, around 76 to 78% of Tinder users are men, and only 22 to 24% are women. In some countries, like India, the ratio is even more extreme, close to 90% male and just 10% female. Insanity. This imbalance creates a silent crisis of invisibility. Men swipe, message, and wait only to feel like they don't exist. The experience becomes less about romance and more about statistics, less about finding love and more about surviving rejection after rejection. And when effort feels wasted, the motivation to pursue meaningful courtship fades. Instead of flowers, letters, or patient pursuit, many men retreat. Some turn bitter, some turn numb, and others simply stop trying altogether. In the end, the oversaturation of choice doesn't create more love stories, it creates more loneliness, a paradox of infinite connections where so many are left unseen. Emotional toll, rejection, low self-worth, and resentment. And this imbalance carries a heavy emotional toll. Constant rejection chips away at confidence. Every swipe with no response, every message left unread plants a seed of doubt. Over time, it grows into feelings of inadequacy, low self-worth, even resentment. For many men, dating apps become both the escape and the trap. They log in searching for connection, but instead they find silence. Or worse, ghosting. Conversations that begin with a spark vanish overnight, leaving nothing but unanswered questions. The cycle repeats. Hope, effort, rejection, over and over. And the more it happens, the harder it becomes to believe in romance at all. What was once a place to find love begins to feel like a reminder of loneliness. Struggles of women, but women face their own struggles in this new world of romance. For them, the problem isn't invisibility, it's the opposite. An overwhelming flood of attention, notifications, likes, and messages that never stop. But behind the numbers, genuine interest is rare. Instead, many women are met with harassment, unsolicited messages, and fetishization. Every conversation becomes with the weight of objectification, being seen less as a person and more as a prize, a conquest, or a fantasy. This constant pressure makes it difficult to trust intentions. Is he here for love or just a hookup? Is he looking for connection or just validation? With so many mixed signals, every interaction feels like a risk. And over time, the exhaustion sets in. What begins as excitement slowly turns into burnout, disillusionment. Love becomes less about hope and more about defense mechanisms, guarded hearts, cautious replies, and walls built high to protect against disappointment. So while men battle invisibility, women battle distrust, two sides of the same coin, both searching for love, yet both left unsatisfied. Sadness behind the screen, and behind all the swipes, likes, and fleeting conversations, there's a quiet sadness. Both men and women are left more isolated than before. The promise of love has been reduced to a game of endless scrolling. Romance becomes entertainment, not commitment. The deepest human need to truly be seen, known, and loved remains unmet. No matter how many profiles we swipe through, we are more connected than ever, yet more alone than ever. Endless swiping, endless conversations, and rejections leave people emotionally drained. What should feel like begging of love often feels like underpaid emotional labor. It is part of the issue with social media. We start comparing ourselves to the 1%. People better photos, better bios, better lives. Slowly, insecurity creeps in. We stop asking, am I worthy of love? And just start wondering, why not me? Generational impact. And the consequences don't stop with today's users. They ripple into the next generation. Young people are growing up believing that this constant swiping, hookups, ghosting is what normal dating looks like. Hookup culture, presented as freedom, often comes at the cost of long-term stability. Connections are fleeting and commitment feels optional. And when so many interactions leave people feeling disposable, the emotional scars linger, hearts hardened, trust eroded, and a generation carrying the weight of loneliness into adulthood. Studies even show that dating app use is linked to higher anxiety and depression. Think about it. The endless waiting for matches or responses, the sting of rejection from total strangers, the compulsive urge to check your phone every few minutes. These addictive patterns don't bring connection, they amplify isolation. And here's the paradox. Apps designed to connect us often make us feel more alone. Shallow conversations, ghosting, and casual encounters that go nowhere can leave people more disconnected than before. Sure, some users find liberation in sexual exploration, and for them, it can be exciting. But for others, it brings pressure to hook up before they're ready, leaving behind regret, lowered self-esteem, and the hollow feeling of being used. In conclusion, how badly did Tinder destroy love? So did Tinder fully destroy love? And how can love survive in the age of Tinder? The truth is complicated. Oversaturation, invisibility, ghosting, and objectification have reshaped the way we pursue connection. Emotional tolls, burnout, and disillusionment weigh heavily on both men and women. What was once patient, intentional, and meaningful has been replaced by convenience, algorithms, and fleeting interactions. Yet, even in this landscape, love hasn't disappeared. It's just harder to find. It requires effort, vulnerability, and a willingness to see beyond the screen. It calls for patience, for empathy, and for courage to build something real in a world designed for instant gratification. Tinder may have changed romance, but it hasn't killed the human desire to connect. The question is whether we as a society are willing to remember how, and are we brave enough to bring it back to life? We swipe for sparks, but match with ghosts. The screen remembers what the heart forgets. Love reduced to left or right, 1,000 faces, none feel right.